Everyone. Thanks for hopping on here with Nolan. I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Nolan. He has something to say, and then we'll hop into questions for you. Nolan, go ahead.
Yeah, first off, I just want to say thank you to everyone there, all the writers. I know I got a new number, so I don't have a lot of guys' number anymore, but I just want to tell every one of you guys thank you for, just being there. I know I wasn't easy to deal with at times, and I know I was a pain in the butt, but I appreciate your guys' patience. I appreciate the encouraging writing, and I also appreciate, when I deserve to be, not made fun of, but I deserve criticism for the way I play. I appreciate all of it. So I understand that's part of it, and I'll never take that personal. I just want to thank you guys, and then to all the TV people at AT&T and Billy, Jenny, Corey, Huey, Drew, all you guys. Appreciate the love and appreciate always looking out for me and my family, and it means a lot. And like I said to the writers, I deserve criticism, and I appreciate the criticism, and I also appreciate the good things you said about me also. And I just want to let you guys know that. So thank you.
All right, we'll jump right into questions. And Thomas Harding, go ahead.
Hey, Nolan, first of all, congratulations, man.
Thank you.
I wanted to kind of go back to kind of just getting to the chase of this. You signed the contract going into 19. 19 doesn't go well, but did you already have a feeling that this team was not going to go any further? What, and where did that come from exactly? What made you think we're not going to push like we did in 17 and 18?
No, I thought after the 19th season, we would try to make a move. And then, we didn't. So I guess that's kind of where it started. But, I think, after the season, the first thing I thought about was, like I said, I signed there to be there for a long time. That's why I wanted to be there. I wanted to end my career there. But like I said, things change. The way the season has gone the last few years, it kind of changed that dynamic of things. And I know it's a shock to a lot of people, but unfortunately, this has happened more than once in the game, and be the last one either. So, no, I mean, I did the best I could. I wasn't planning on leaving, but the circumstances definitely changed.
And just to follow up, I guess, did they tell you after 19 that they weren't going to do anything after the season went wrong? Did they tell you? And the other thing, so I don't take up other people's time, do you love the Cardinal uniform? I mean, that's pretty cool, isn't it?
Well, I don't want to go into detail about private conversations I have with my agent, Dick, and Jeff. Those are for us. All I could really say is that, I have no hate in my heart for any of them. I thank them for everything they did for me and my family. We had a good run, did the best we could, just didn't work out. But yeah, I do love the Cardinals uniforms. Those things are sweet. I'm excited to wear it.
Thank you, Nolan. Good luck, man.
Thank you.
Patrick Saunders, go ahead.
And it seemed to me that you lost a little bit of your joy for playing the game the last 2 years because of the frustration of losing. Maybe I'm wrong. But do you think you'll find some of that joy when you join the Cardinals?
Well, I think whenever you're losing, it's always frustrating. I wouldn't say it stole my joy. I definitely wouldn't say that. I know how fortunate I play. This is my second chapter of my career, and then once this second chapter is over, it's going to be done. So I know how fortunate I am to play, but losing does take a toll, and it's not fun to lose. You don't play this game to lose, and it's tough for sure. But I don't know what to say. I did the best I could. I played hard. We did the best we could as a team. It just didn't work out.
Nolan, have you talked to many of your teammates? And I connected with Trevor and Charlie last night. I'm curious if you can share a little bit what their feelings about this move are with you.
Well, I sent them a long message yesterday to how much they mean to me and how much I care about them and I appreciate them. And that's kind of how it went. They said they appreciate me. I get to know the level connected, and I'm very thankful for every single one of them. Some of them 17-18 team was fun too. We got to accomplish a great thing there. So, I'm going to miss a lot of them. But I am excited for the next chapter. So, I'm ready to move on. I think that's the best thing to do. I don't want to hold anything in or, hold any of the frustrations or anything like that. But, I love those guys. I love every single one of them. And I'm going to miss them.
And one more from me, Nolan. What message would you like to send to the Rockies fans?
Well, there's a lot of things I would like to say. I truly care about them, and I truly cared about winning for them. That was my goal, and I did the best I could, and I know they appreciate that. They have a special place in my family's heart. My family's overwhelmed with the love they shared for us while we were playing and now. And, I truly cared about them. If I was, I lost sleep when I wasn't playing well because I was letting my teammates down, but I also did that because I was, I didn't want to let the fans down. I want to make them all happy and bring joy and bring winning culture to Colorado. It just it didn't work out.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Nick Groke, go ahead.
Yeah, hey Nolan, good luck, by the way. It's going to be fun, I bet, for you. So good luck. We just talked to Dick, and he seemed he said that he had talked to you a bunch, but he seemed confused, sort of where you were coming from, which is a little bit surprising to hear from him. Did you feel like you were being clear with him and telling him what what your frustrations were and what you wanted?
Well, I thought I was pretty clear when I signed. When I signed there, I thought I was pretty clear about it. But like I said, man, baseball's a hard game. There's a lot of good teams out there. That division in the NOS is really tough. And, in 18, when we lost by a game in the division, it seemed like we're headed around the right path. And then the last few years, I don't know. I didn't know where it was going. But, I felt like I was pretty clear with him when I first signed about what was the plan and all that. But, I don't blame him. I don't blame myself. It just, like I said, it didn't work out. Those teams in that division are tough, and they give us a hard time. And like I said, these things happen, unfortunately.
So just because I'm getting this question from a lot of fans, but like, did they, what effort did they put into like making you feel better about your situation or trying to keep you? I mean, was that ever a possibility? Did they ever consider that a possibility? Not necessarily for you, but
consider like making me happy.
Yeah, trying to keep you.
Is that what you're saying?
Trying to keep you.
Oh, well, yeah. I think they really could have kept me, but I think as the off season went on and what happened, how we finished, things changed, and that's just the way it goes. And as an organization, they have to reevaluate what they need to do, and that's what they did, and that's all there is to it. I wasn't a free agent, but at the end of the day, we shared where our thoughts were and what was going on, and that's why we're here today.
Cool. Thanks, dude.
Pat Graham, go ahead.
Hey, Nolan, thanks for taking the time, and congratulations. I know that there was a lot of things in play before St. Louis was on the board. Dude, what was your mind like just going through all these rumors and speculation and when you heard St. Louis, what was that like?
Well, the speculation was, I read that, when you see articles come out, you're always like, oh, wow. But then, you talk to your agent and what he's hearing, because he would hear it first. So, I kind of realized that some of the speculation wasn't real. This year, I didn't really get hyped up into it until I heard that there was something moving. And once I heard that something moving, then I started really thinking about it. And then I really started to find out what it's about and all those things. But, I try not to get caught up into it. I know we all do, because we all read things. We all watch MLB TV and all those things. So you kind of read it and you see it. But, this year I just try to focus on getting ready and getting my shoulder right and getting ready for the season. That's kind of all I really focus on. And once this came into fruition, then obviously I really started to buckle down on it and talk it over with my family. And, my family's super supportive of it. So that's why we're here.
And as a follow-up, even when the Rockies were good in 17 and 18, there was just this fun team. They weren't a division favorite with the Dodgers around. What's it like being on a team that's actually a division favorite and one of the World Series contenders?
Well, it feels great. this organization is awesome. I know they really care about winning, and that's all they talk about from what I've talked to them so far. And it's really awesome to be a part of. And they have great history, and I'm really excited to be a part of that history with them. And hopefully we can accomplish great things. But yeah, it's a little different being we're hopeful that we can win the division, and it feels good knowing that we have a chance to do that, and a good chance. So I'm excited for that, and I'm excited for something new, and hopefully we can win and get to the playoffs.
I'll go back to Thomas and back to Patrick, and we'll finish up. Thomas, go ahead.
How long has this been in the works, and how much were you able to consult with a guy like a Matt Holliday or Mark Reynolds, guys who really experienced St. Louis and that baseball atmosphere?
Yeah, I don't know how long it's been. My agent probably know. He didn't want to get my hopes up and tell me every little detail about it. So I didn't want to be like that. I didn't want to hear every little thing because negotiations are always going back and forth, and that's just playing with your emotions. So I try not to get too much into it. But Matt Holliday is like a great friend of mine. I consider him like a mentor for me. He's got Colorado has a special place in his family's heart also. And, he's similar with me where, he loved Colorado. He wanted to sign there for a long time, and I signed there for a long time. And he never told me like, you need to get out of there and get away from that. He never said that. He just, when I was just letting him know that, hey, St. Louis might be real, I was just asking his opinion on it. And, that's kind of how it went. He would never tell me, he loved Colorado, and he's, like I said, and he would never tell me like, you got to get out of there. He just, once I shared with him that St. Louis was a possibility, he started letting me know about it. And then he's helped me make me feel comfortable about making this decision.
What do you tell you about St. Louis? Obviously, you've been there as a visitor. You've gotten standing ovations for defensive plays in that town. But what was it that he told you about St. Louis? And also, what do you remember of your trips there?
Well, he's told me that, it's great tradition. They have a great history, which is true, which I've seen and I've played against. And they got a good team, 13 straight winning seasons. They're going to continue to try to get better. And I really like that. And then obviously going there, it's a tough place to play. It's a fun place to play because of the fans, and the fans appreciate great baseball. But it was always tough playing them because they're really good, and they always give us a hard time. So, no, it was it's awesome. I'm just really excited for this new chapter, and I know my family is also.
Thanks again, Nolan, man. I really enjoyed it.
Thank you, Thomas. I appreciate everything. Thank you.
Patrick, go ahead.
And a couple more. Dick seemed to indicate during his press conference with us that they thought you for sure were going to take your opt-out after 2021. Is that the case? Would you have opted out regardless of the financial landscape that's out there?
I don't know if I would have done that. The financial landscape, I don't know. That would have been a great decision to leave my contract out there. Obviously, hopefully we can move on, and hopefully we can have fans again, and the game can get back to being somewhat normal this year. So the financial landscape can change, but I don't know. It's hard to make that decision right now. Obviously, when you're seeing what's going on right now, you're leaning toward no, but I can't promise that it would have been no.
And I know it's been a small sample size. What are your feelings about just playing in the National League Central, some of those ballparks? I know you've raked at Miller Park and some of the others, and small sample size, you haven't hit great in some of the others. What do you think of it overall in terms of your being able to get in that division?
Well, I'm excited, obviously not having to make that change from altitude, and stuff like that. I think that'll be beneficial. But it's a good division, good ballparks, good teams. I'm very excited to go be a part of the rivalry with the Cubs. And I'm just excited for that new feeling. Yeah, it's going to be weird as far as, I'm so used to going to San Fran, LA. I feel like I know so many people there, the way clubbies and all that. So, but, I've been to Cincinnati, Milwaukee, Pittsburgh, all those guys. So I got to know all of them as well. And I feel like I'm really going to enjoy it. And the goal is to win. So, regardless of what's going on or what ballpark you're playing in, we're going to try to win the division and do the best we can.
Question here, and then we'll finish up.
Yeah, hey, just two quick ones real fast. Looking back, was there a singular moment though where it kind of turned for you, that you kind of decided that maybe that you didn't want to stay? Was there like a one conversation with Jeff or Dick, or one moment where it kind of turned?
You know, I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't say it's one general conversation, but you know, I think, you know, after the 19th season, we didn't really make a move, and I guess I didn't know that was part of the plan. I thought there was a different plan, but it is what it is. You know, maybe it was my fault for misreading how I thought it was going to go, and yeah, I'm not blaming nobody. Like I said, it's nobody's fault. I have respect for Jeff. I have respect for Dick. I appreciate them for giving me a chance and honoring me with a great contract. And I did the best I could while I was there. And that's really all I got to say about that.
No, that's cool. And then, you know, on a more positive note, what is a thing that you most remember about your time with the Rockies? Is there a game or a hit or a moment?
Well, I think just getting to know the guys now, like, you know, I got to meet DJ, Tulo, Charlie, just being part of the organizational story. Just got to meet great people, great friends, and people that I truly admire in this game, and people I really care about as friends. Ottavino, you know, those are some of my really good friends to this day, and I'm very thankful for the organization for that. And you know, the fans, obviously the Father's Day homer was one of the best times, you know, to see the fans so fired up, and just, you know, beating the Cubs in the wild card game, and just back-to-back playoffs. You know, just winning is just so much fun, and just doing that for those 2 years was really great.
Cool. Yeah, man. Really, good luck and have fun. It'll be fun, I'm sure.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
All right, Nolan, thank you for hopping on, man. I really appreciate it. Thank you for everything.
Thank you.
Have a good one, man. See you guys.